subscribe. Tariq Radio. Like and subscribe.
All right, let me get Chad. Let's get Chad in the building. Let's get Chad in the building. All right. Mr. Chad, hop on, sir.
Tariq, I'm new here, and it's kind of early in the morning.
How you
But
Go ahead.
from what I've been listening to, the only thing I can hear is you want to blame everybody else for all of your problems.
Really?
Well, I'm so sorry for that, and I'm sorry that you had to even come to America.
Let's slow down.
Because
Let's slow down. Let's slow down. Let's slow down. Chad. First, Chad, nobody was blaming anybody for anything. That's a projection. Second, we didn't come to America. Chad, we built America. Chad, I'm from a foundational Black American lineage. My family built America. We didn't come here or immigrate here. Do you understand that, Chad?
well, I'm Irish and Cherokee Indian,
Oh,
and
God.
so you tell me that
God.
you were here first?
Yeah, you $5 ass Indian. You're not a Cherokee, Chad. You're a five.
Oh, you tell me that my
You're a five.
family roots don't go back through the Cherokee
No, you're a
Foundation?
$5 Indian, Chad. You're not Cherokee.
Oh,
You're somebody paid to get on the dolls rolls. You paid $5. You're not a Cherokee.
oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you're not a Cherokee.
Does the
You're
Maley family from
not a Cherokee, Chad. Sit your $5 ass down before I make change. All right, now let's try something else. Okay. Because foundational Black Americans, we have real indigenous roots to this land, sir. So you don't want to play that game. And you immigrated, your family immigrated here from Ireland. You immigrated to a country that was built by foundational Black Americans, sir.
But who was here first? And you
Aboriginal,
want to proclaim that
right?
the Africans was the first slaves? Well, the Irish is the ones that allowed for the English to come across with Columbus.
What? What?
Oh, you forgot about that. Oh, am I
Please
more
explain.
educated than you are, sir?
I got to.
Oh,
Please explain.
Tariq, take your hate speech somewhere else,
Hold
please.
on. What? How did the Irish help Columbus? The Ireland wasn't seafaring people. What are you talking about?
We had metal ships while the English had wooden ships, sir.
And y'all were sailing over here? Now before the Spanish, and the Spanish got it from the damn Moors. So what you talking about?
So you're telling me the Spanish sailed the seas long before anybody else?
No, you had some Egyptians. They were doing things in East Africa. They were sailing. You had Abu Bakari in West Africa sailing the seas. You had some of the Vikings doing some things up there in Greenland, and Eric Leaf and all of those guys. They did a little sailing here and there. But what Irish taught Christopher Columbus? What are you talking about?
And they were Norwegianers. They wasn't Africans.
Who was Norwegian?
The people that were sailing between Greenland and Ireland.
Yeah, there were people coming from Africa and other places for thousands of years, way before them. That's why they
Wow.
old man.
Are you sure?
Yeah, they got big ass statues of Black people down in Central America. The Olmec statues of big ass Black folks. So that's been here for thousands of years, sir. This Black.
Oh.
Now, what's this Irish thing about Columbus? You keep deflecting from that. Please elaborate.
Well, Ireland was the first one of the very first nations that had industrialization. Can you tell me that is not true?
How and when?
It's part of history.
When? What industrialization did Ireland have?
Do your research and then come back here and
Back here in Ireland,
speak some more of your hate speech, please.
Chad, Ireland didn't get its shit together till the 90s. What you talking about?
You're so uneducated.
Educate me. Y'all didn't get shit popping until the damn 1990s. Damn, MC Hammer was out by the time y'all got y'all shit together. What you talking?
Oh yeah. So the Irish-English War.
Yeah, y'all, you didn't get shit popping
Hey,
in Ireland until
hey,
the
let's talk about how
no, no,
South
no,
Africa.
no,
Let's talk
no.
about
Don't
how
deflect.
South
Don't deflect.
Africa
Don't deflect.
become
What
or took on the white people.
don't
Oh yeah,
man,
they was
don't you deflect. What did y'all have going on in Ireland except starving and famine and beating each other over the head for a damn potato? What did y'all have going on in Ireland? Please explain this stuff. What are you saying?
Well, let's talk about how the gumbos started. Do you
Oh,
even know what gumbos are?
I got to hear this. Please explain it. What's the gumbo? The food gumbo?
See, you're uneducated.
What you talking about? You're just saying stuff.
Gumbos was sold to America on the slavery, all because they were part of the sex slave trade from Ireland, which then had half white, half black kids down in Africa. That's how you got South Africa, Johannesburg, and everything else that popped up is because the people that was captured during the English Irish War, long before your time and long before evidently you studied, but those people was then outcasted to America because they nobody in Africa wanted half English and half Irish or half black children.
What is man talking about? Sir Chad, Ireland,
Is that part of that's
Ireland
part of how you got here, sir?
was a crap hole of Europe, sir. Ireland was
And I do believe the Cherokee Indian was here long before
which,
you, the Dumbo guy, got here.
Wayne, which you're not, but Ireland was a crap hole in Europe. They were shitting on the Irish. They were sending them over here as indentured servants, sir, and they weren't even considered white, and they would portray them as simian damn, sir.
And they come over to sell the seas before Africans was ever brought here. So
What sea? What
please explain some more to me.
who was sailing the seas from Ireland?
The Irish
Who?
was selling the seas long before
Who?
the Africans ever thought about it.
Who? When?
The Vikings, sir.
Goodness, sir. Dude, people have been sailing the seas long.
Tariq,
Stop.
go back to your Muslim living way.
Sir, there's the East Africans. They had ships in Egypt. Sir, stop it. For thousands of years before a damn musty ass Viking. If you don't stop, stop it. There's old ancient Egyptian ships, sir, that sailed all over the place. Who
You still haven't answered none of my
I'm
questions.
answering them now, sir. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you're stammering on your
I'm
own bottom lip.
any the you're talking about the Vikings. Damn it. Ireland was a crap hole. Y'all were over there starving, picking fleas out your ass. Y'all didn't have nothing going on in no damn Ireland. Ireland
Oh, okay. Then, hey, if you don't like how the Irish built America with industrialization,
built
then
what?
go back to your
Uh,
villages that have not even been
uh,
erected yet, and they still rape.
down. Slow down. The Irish built America? Really? Where?
Oh, you're telling me that you built America? Oh, yeah. Reparations that's the
Foundation,
reason why you want reparations, huh?
foundational black Americans built America. Yes. When did the Irish build America without us? Boy, it got quiet, didn't it? Boy, it got quiet.
Oh, wait a
No.
minute. Time out.
When did you build America
Before
without
you,
us? Without foundational black
before
Americans? Yes.
you, when did Columbus come? So you're trying to tell me that you guys were here long before Columbus come?
Yeah. And in fact,
Really?
Columbus brought black people with him. He used ships from the Moors.
Really?
Yeah. Pedro Alonso Nino.
When
That was
okay,
yeah,
do you understand the reason how Columbus got here?
yeah, Moorish ships and Moorish maps.
No, they were trying to find a different trade route with
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
Asians because you people
And
kept on jumping the trade routes and stealing everything
yeah,
that they would bring
yeah.
back
The
to
Moors were
the
the
UK.
Moors were controlling the trade routes really up until the 1800s. They were. Some of the Moors, the black Moors, were controlling those trade routes, and it would make them
Hmm.
pay fines, and that's why Columbus had Moors with him and Moorish translators, and he was using some of the Moorish ships, and they used some of the Moorish maps. So yeah, yeah, they had Moors with them, and many of those explorers had Moors with them. They had Estevanico and some of the other expeditions they had. So
And
the
they really didn't have no problems in those parts of the world until after the division of people
but yeah, this whole thing where
in the Bible.
this thing where you're trying to rewrite this Irish history as if the Irish were running something, you better stop. You sound crazy. Irish weren't running nothing. They didn't build nothing, sir. Stop it.
Oh, okay. So we didn't bring welding into the
No,
situation.
you welded your
When was you guys over in Africa melting metal together?
sir. I'm a foundational Black American, sir. And if we want to get into Africa,
You're a
we
black
get
American, so
yeah,
you don't
if we
understand your roots
hold on,
or
slow. No, no, no. I do know my roots, sir. My roots are here. My roots, I'm indigenous to the United States because my family built it, sir. I'm the only pure American. We're really Americans. You're an Irish dude. I'm a real American, sir. And if we want to get into metal work, they were doing metal work in ancient Egypt. That's Africa. That's me too, if we want to go there. Okay. There was a lot of technology going on in ancient Africa, sir. See, I don't even have to go that far. I can just go back to my foundational Black American culture and history that we were building here, sir. We built this country, not no musty ass Irish white supremacists. You didn't build nothing but hunger in your stomach.
well, let me just take you back a little bit into history and
Take,
let's look at back in history and what's happening today in today's modern age.
mm-hmm.
They are not so civilized there.
Who?
We are here.
Who? Where? There? There? Where?
Where you originated,
It's
where your family originated from.
America. That's where I originated from. I'm foundational Black American. So what you talking about?
I don't know.
I'm a
I
foundational
can't. I can't. I can't come up with anything with a racist.
not a
You're a racist
because you're trying to put me into some foreign box. I'm a foundational Black American, sir. And what
because evidently you don't understand your history
I,
and how the world began
I
and where everybody started out and evolved from.
sir, Irish people evolved out of Africa. You want to go there? Some of the Irish were originally black. Do you really want to go there? Go get a book called Ancient and Modern Britons by a white man named David McRitchie. He wrote it in the 1800s. He talked about how the Picts and the Celts, many of them were originally black. The whole leprechaun myth that came from black
So,
pygmies of Africa, sir.
so you
White,
only go back to the
yes,
1800s?
I'm giving you an old book by a white man who wrote this in the 1800s.
Okay, let's go back to when Mohammed and everybody come about. Oh, wait a minute. Who was the first person that was casted out of the kingdom? The Lord's kingdom.
Oh, are we going to the Bible?
Would that have been Satan or Lucifer?
Are we going to the Bible?
Was he turned to be a different color because he was marked as a person?
Are we going to the
That's how Africa began. Sorry, sir,
uh-oh.
but get educated.
Oh, well, he's going to the Bible, y'all. He's going to the Bible. Oh,
Yeah, I'm going to the Bible because it come about long before the Quran did.
okay, sir. You know when Jonah was in the belly of the whale?
Oh, and I suppose Jonah was the black one.
No, no, no. He was a white supremacist and he tasted like mayonnaise, and that's why the whale spit him back out, sir.
Oh my God.
That's your history.
You have yourself so convinced, Tariq.
Yes.
But if you don't like things the way that they are in America, then go home and evolutionize your own country, which you're still have plenty of villages over there.
Sir, nobody in my family lived in Africa, sir. No one in my family has lived in Africa.
Bingo. But now you want to bring all of that over here and blame all of my children for your inability to be able to understand history?
So your children, you mean the people who fled over here because you couldn't cut it in Ireland? You had to flee to my homeland, sir? You're an immigrant here, sir. You ain't no damn Cherokee. You're some $5 Indian that probably came over in the early 1900s, sir. You
But do you understand the reason why we came here?
because you
And it was long before the 1800s.
because no, you were not over here before the 1800s, sir.
Oh,
You
I believe
no,
so. Yes.
no, you weren't. You came over here.
You want me to show you paperwork?
You don't have no paperwork, sir. You're just going to show me the deed to your trailer. I don't give a damn. You came.
Oh my goodness gracious, Tariq, you're such a funny guy.
Yes, sir. Yes, indeed.
That's maybe the reason why nobody wants to talk to you. I mean, look at all the thousands of people that are lining up with the speakers in hand.
Right. Look,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
thou-
You're just a racist.
there's thousands of people in here, sir. Evidently, somebody wants to talk to me. It's in the middle of the night, and there's thousands of people in here. And there's nobody outside of your trailer park except your meth dealer. But yeah, there's a lot of people who want to talk to me. Let me get my brother EJ in real.
Is that all we can do is sit here and, you know,
Let me get
say, well, it's my fault that you are where you're at
let me
today?
get my
And you're at not such a good place there,
a
sir.
great place because my birth rates are stabilized, unlike yours. But let me get my brother EJ in here. EJ, how are you, sir? And then I'm gonna get brother McCall in here. We're gonna do some teaching today. Brother EJ, then brother McCall. EJ,
Hey, brother Tariq, I was in hibernation mode. Then I heard this mighty morphin meth pipe smoker up here just babbling. I don't know if he's half drunk or if one of the brothers is up here just smashed his daughter out, for loose change. But it's kind of real sad to hear, white folks talk about, black folks being possibly racist when they've been practicing racism and white supremacy for the past 100 plus years around the world. So, I don't know if this dude is drunk off that Tumu.com, alcohol, because we know he can't afford, like real liquor, because, we're in a recession since Joe Biden keep giving out, billions of dollars to, Ukrainians. But this just goes
I
to show
could
you
I
that,
could take my history all
can
the
you
way
meet him?
back to
Can you
Winston
meet him?
Churchill.
Can you meet him? Can you
Churchill,
meet him?
and
go ahead.
Can you mute this potato eater? I'm sorry, man. I know it's real hard for him to understand, real, brothers and sisters coming together and actually having something real constructive to say in these spaces. But, I'm going to land my plane before he overdose off crystal meth and, he puts his meth pipe somewhere else that the sun don't shine. But, thank you, Tariq, for letting me speak. I got to get ready to go to work and, smack a couple of white supremacists up before I hit the track. But,
There you
I'm going to go in there and see you later, brother. Salute.
go. Thank you, brother. All right, let me get Chad. Let me get brother McCall in here. Brother McCall.
Great Minister of Code, how art thou?
I'm good, my brother. How are you?
Excellent, just living the dream and winning.
Absolutely.
Mr. Chad, how are you, sir?
Chad.
Mr. Chad?
well, I'm doing good as long as I'm not being downcasted as a meth
I
smoker.
understand.
Oh yeah, let's go
I
ahead and
understand.
just say that about everybody. Maybe that's
Okay.
just your guys' way of life.
Well, I'm not going to do that, but I do have a few questions to ask you if it's feasible, sir. What is your point? What is your modus operandi? What exactly are you saying? I'm just trying to understand you.
Well, Tariq says that I haven't been, or my family hasn't been here for more than 100 years, and his family's been here longer. Well, let's go back to Winston Churchill, shall we?
Okay, Winston Churchill. You're from Ireland, is that correct, sir?
Well, the Maley family, which the O'Maleys still have a castle there.
Okay, good. And how long has your kind, your haplogroup, been in this place that's currently called Ireland?
Well, since about the 1500s.
1500s. You do know that this place that you call Ireland has been populated by primordials as late as 33,000 years ago. Are you aware of that? Hmm?
The primordials?
Yes, sir. 33,000 years ago. Are you aware of that?
33,000 years ago.
Are you
Is
aware
that
of that?
before, is that BC or is that AD?
That would be what we call before Common Era, ERA. Are you aware of that?
Well, you have in the Bible, you have BC, which is before Christ, and AD, which is after death. So explain, please.
You sound like a pretty enlightened guy, so you seem like a pretty nice guy, so I'm not going to embarrass you any longer. Brother Tariq,
Oh,
thank you, sir.
please embarrass me.
Pleasure
You know,
talking.
with your so much foundation of history here, please take me back to the day.
All right. But anyway, Chad. Hold on. Let's get Geo in the building. Let's get Geo in here to talk to Chad. Geo, hop in, please.
Yeah, thank you, Tariq. I appreciate you always, brother. And Mikel is an elder of mine. Chad, what he was asking you specifically was about the Hopla groups, meaning what are your genetic markers and what are the oldest genetic markers? Do you understand what he's saying?
Oh, I'm pretty sure I know what he's talking about.
Chad, be serious. Do you understand that there is a genetic marker that matches to people that, for instance, if you have like a phenotype that lets you, say, absorb vitamin D, that would mean that you are probably from a place where you don't get very much sun. Do you understand what I'm saying?
So now here we go with opinionated statues.
Not opinionated.
Well, you
Chad.
said maybe. You said maybe. Let's talk about facts. Let's not talk about
Chad,
should or
Chad, I'm
may.
a research engineer, sir.
So
Chad,
let's
I
talk.
said
If you're
maybe
an
to give.
engineer, then you should know that there's a principle. The principle is that you never talk about anything that should or that's in the should or may category because that is too big of a
Chad,
gray
have you
area.
ever worked in engineering?
Oh, I believe I was a national or federal welding inspector. Oh yeah, I know all about a lot of
Okay.
engineering.
So you were welding inspector, meaning that you would understand that, like, you're using, for instance, you would probably using sonic welding principles so that you can see whether or not a weld is good, sir, right?
Well, there's many different ways that we can look at it. And if you're an engineer, then you should be able to come across and tell me what those sonic rays are.
Well, I can, Chad, and I
Well,
was.
how many different sonic rays have we developed?
So there is a volume of them. They're everything from whether or not we are looking at, like, the forensics of looking at, like, say, RF engineering. You go from, like, low frequency, so that's in, like, the sonic realm of, like, say, 20 hertz to 200 hertz. Then you go up into, like, high frequencies that are into the thousands of hertz, and then you go to ultra high frequency, and then you get into x-rays, right?
Well, yeah, your gammas are still in a frequency range.
Right. So they're in
But you're
ranges,
an
right?
engineer, so you should be able to tell me all about this.
Chad.
But see, that's the thing.
Chad, you're asking me, and I'm an actual engineer. I'm an actual RF engineer that came out of the Navy, and then I worked at Intel. And I'm asking you, sir, what would you use with welding that you would actually be able to tell whether or not your weld is good? You tell me.
Well, you got sonic, you got ultra, you have magma, and you have, yeah, X-ray.
Right, sir. Did I not say that first? Did I not say from the beginning you would need sonic rays in order to maybe see if a welder is good at what they do, right?
But that's not what we're talking about. Let's get off
I,
of the subject of welding. I'm talking about
do you
the
know why
gray
I'm bringing
matter
this? Do
because
you
you
know why
got
I'm
on
bringing
here
this up?
and you said that you wanted to talk about the should. Well,
Do
my
you know
body
why I'm
should
bringing
have
this up, Chad?
genetic markers, right?
I just wanted to know on a base level if we could have a common conversation between people that actually know what they're saying. So, do you now understand why I'm asking you this?
Oh, I do believe I know. Yeah, so you can
Because
try to downplay somebody.
you're speaking to my elders and some of my friends in the space. And I don't believe that you should think that they are not educated like I am or like you are, sir. They gave you your credence. And they said to you specifically that I think that you're somebody that is educated enough to understand having a common conversation. The reason why I'm saying this is that I actually enjoy these men being able to speak to the community and trying to elevate the community. When we can't have a common ground, then I don't know whether or not it is that I should even have a conversation. I am very, very thankful that Tariq allowed me to come up here because he normally wouldn't, because he has himself a plethora of things to say to the community about how we can uplift each other. But when you play around with words, when you play around with things that you think that you know or what you want to say to the rest of the community, where you could like dodge and get outside of the bounds of a conversation and you'll go to what you know, that's what I know the most. I do know engineering. And you know
Well,
this. You know that I know engineering at this
if
point.
you know the history of engineering and you was in the Navy, then maybe you could tell me who had the most precise or prestigious vessels in the day.
Do you remember a group of Africans that came from the north that were called the Carthaginians? Do you know about do you know about building hulls when steel was made and the crucibles were made, and that those crucibles were made specifically because of Africans who traded in northern parts of India? Because I as a lover of history, and if you didn't see my profile, all I do is work on AI specifically for genealogy because I deal with so many people that love to fake history. Thank God for brothers like Tariq and making a place in Los Angeles for people to learn about our culture and our history. Thank God for people who will look back and will bring up stories. But I will bring up stories to you, sir, that you have probably never heard. The crucibles that made steel that actually went through a lining of the hull so that you could do seafaring. Those crucibles were made in northern India by who? Do you know who made those? Do you know the culture that actually transferred that information to northern India so that the northern Vikings who specifically specifically said that that was where they learned how to make their long voyage seafaring from.
Please enlighten me.
That was from northern Africans who Romans had burned down. Romans salted the earth of the Carthaginians. The only culture in history that had ever gone for long seafaring. This was known by not only the Romans at the time, it was known by every single seafaring nation in the world. Everyone was trying to trade spices during that time. Everyone was going through the Horn of Africa. Everyone was going through the middle of the world in order to get their knowledge from Egypt. This is well before, sir. I don't mean to
Are you
disrespect,
talking about the Eurocentrics?
sir. This is before any European had ever even known how to hunt a cow. This is before any European had ever known how to, say, heat a house or not shit in a river like much of them say about everyone else. This is well before any European had ever learned how to, say, take a bath. This is before any European had ever learned how to do anything as much as to say a word called zero. This is before anybody that was in the European continent had ever learned how to actually take care of their children. This is
So are
before.
you telling me that the Africans were in the Incas?
Sir, if you know history at all, if you know
No.
anthropology,
Please enlighten me. I mean, we're going back to the
you
Aztecs
would
and the
not
Incas.
only need to know history, you would also need to learn geology. You would
Gil,
also need to learn.
your mic is muffled.
You would also need to learn anthropology. You would also need to learn, there's not just history, you would also need to learn most of the components that go into why something is what it is. You cannot just think about it as, oh, somebody told me a narrative. You need to learn most of the things that were given to the Europeans when the Moors came. That's only 1400 years ago. You'd also need to learn when the Europeans were learning from Egyptians 4,000 years ago. You'd also need to learn when most people were trading before Europeans ever had the ability to wipe their own ass.
So you're taking me back. Are you taking me back past the Aztecs and the Mayans and the Incas?
Yes, sir. You need
No,
to
no, no, no. I don't believe so.
you need to learn about where these when we were asking you about haplotypes, like, do you understand what we were saying about, like, why when you look at genealogy and when you look at, say, DNA, why does everybody come out of Africa?
So the Africans was in control of Leif Erikson.
Do you know haplotypes?
Do you know the Norse?
Sir, yes, I do. I've been there and I hired them at Intel. So do you know
The
haplotypes,
Norse
sir?
Vikings? You hired
Sir,
at Intel? Or did
sir,
you hire their
sir,
generation of?
in Finland and in the Nordic countries, of course I do. So can you please answer, do you know what a haplotype is?
Well, you was muted there or muffled there for a very
Do
long time,
you
so
know
I
what
didn't
a
hear part of you talking.
haplotype is, sir?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I do.
Please explain.
No, you go ahead and explain it to me in your terminology.
Chad, he's
I'm
trying
done, Chad.
again. All right.
Because you can't explain.
You can look at my page to look at haplotypes, Chad. It's not because I cannot explain. It's because I'm done with you, brother.
There you go. Thank you so much, Jill. All right, Chad. We're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. But thank you so much, Chad. All right. Okay. I just wanted to see people let people see Chad get educated and how you deal with folks like that. Shout out to Geo, who gave him that scholarship. That's how you deal with these people. Just calm scholarship. That's all you got to do. And Chad just sat there like a student. He tried to act dumb, but that's how you deal with them, black people. You deal with them with scholarship. You see? Hats off to Brother Geos. Hats off to Brother Kanye. See, these brothers come in and we're showing you how to deal with these folks. Hit them with the scholarship. When you start hitting them with history, oh, that shuts them up. You know how quiet they get? Because now they can't control the narrative. See what they do, they come in and just say some little racially charged stuff. You go back to Africa in your huts. See, then they want us to get bent out of shape. No, 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 no. When they start that, oh, we got that ass. Oh, we're gonna go into huts in history. Let's go into it. Let's go and start breaking down their history. And then they start getting real quiet. You see, they get real quiet. Let's get red dollar. Let's get red dollar. Doll, but red dollar. Red dollar, hop in. Mr. Red Dollar, hop in. Red dollar in the building. Want to unmute that microphone, Red Dollar? Red Dollar didn't want to unmute. So let's go to Yancey. We'll go to Yancey. Yancey, hop on in. Mr. Yancey or Mrs. Yancey, hop on in. All right. Yancey ain't saying nothing. Come on now. Let's try this. If you're ready to speak, raise your hand. We'll try that. If you're ready to speak and you can unmute your microphone right now, let's raise your hand, ladies and gentlemen. If you are ready. All right. Let's try LaShonda. Let's try LaShonda in the building. LaShonda, hop on. And let's get let's try Elvis Moyo. Elvis Moyo, hop in, Elvis. Elvis Moyo, hop in. Unmute your microphone, Elvis. Okay, y'all got to unmute these microphones, man. There you go.
So I just jumped in because it was pretty kind of brutal because nobody else was talking. But tell me something, and I will have a conversation with you.
Okay, well, okay. Well, now, Elvis, what year? You're Nigerian? Your name is Moyo.
Moyo is definitely not a Nigerian name.
It's not?
No, I'm not Nigerian.
No, that Ugandan? What is that? Kenyan? What is that?
It's Southern African. It's Zimbabwean.
Zimbabwe. I don't know that. I didn't see too many people named Moyo when I was in Zimbabwe. Are you still in Zimbabwe now, Brother Elvis?
I am not in Zimbabwe around.
Okay. Well, shout out to Zimbabwe. I like the people of Zimbabwe. Very, very sweet people.
Zimbabwean people are the best people that you ever meet. The salt of the earth.
Yeah.
Like very nice people.
They are. I can't argue with that at all. They had a feast for me when I was there. They had a big feast when I was there. They had dances and it was on and popping. They really, really rolled out the red carpet for me. Beautiful people, and I got to take my family out there to visit. But let's get a Romo Republican. Come on, Aromo.
Hey, Tariq in the house. How's everybody doing? I hope you guys are all well.
Yes, sir. How are you, Aromo?
I'm doing wonderful.
What's on your mind?
On my mind, I want to ask you a question.
Absolutely, you can. Go ahead.
I think they say right now there are like 198 countries in the world, and they say they should all report to one president, and the whole world should have one passport. What do you think about that?
I don't know. I don't agree with that. No.
Yeah, it's bullshit, I think,
Yeah.
too.
Now, who said that we should have like a one world government?
I mean, that's the dream of the globalists, right? Right now, they're exercising that through international monetary funds and World Bank and UN and NATO. Those five organizations are pretty much doing it right now, and they want to make us officially carry one passport. they sample it that with African Union, and I think they want to get rid of the borders. They just want to complete control.
Agree with that. Wouldn't want that. Thank you so much. Brother Elvis, you wanted to get back on for Elvis requested to get back on. What's up, Elvis?
So I was gonna say though, like, if you had the ideal version of humanity, would you not have no passports, no borders? Everybody would just be everybody.
Um,
That is the ideal version of humanity.
where people are just walking around. Well, the thing is, I would say, you got to be realistic. You can be idealistic, but you got to be realistic. And if you're running a country, you have to have protection mechanisms for the country. You can't have people who are hostile to the country just walking in all willy nilly. So you would need a mechanism to know who's coming in, who's coming out. It's too many people and too many tribal groups.
Yeah,
It could be potentially dangerous just to have.
But but,
Go ahead.
but I think mostly the reason why people are hostile is because of the borders. So if you didn't have borders, then people wouldn't be that hostile, and then you wouldn't need reasons for those borders.
Well, people, there's been war since the beginning of mankind. There's been war, but the thing about it, ancient warfare was about it was an honor to it to a certain degree. You battled a person, and if you won that battle, you honored the spoils of war. It wasn't this deceptive thing where with the white supremacists, you allow them to come on in and you welcome them as a guest, and while you're asleep, they stab you in the damn throat while you're asleep. That type of shit. That's something else. And we weren't used to that as humans. War is fine, but there's respect in war. You almost respected fighting like a warrior. You get your best warriors to fight that group, fight this group, and you fought like men and you dealt with war like men. This whole new cowardly thing that we got going on, that's something that has caused a lot of strife. So I don't co-sign that. But anyway, let me get some more calls in here. Let's Lashana, you ready? Lashana, want to unmute your microphone? All right, Lashana, let me get you down since you are not saying anything. And you know what? We got a lot of people in here. It's very late, but we're gonna get one more call. Let's get one more good one. All right, let's get one more good call, ladies and gentlemen, and let's raise your hand. Raise your hand and let's get one more good one, ladies and gentlemen. All right. What's up, Nikki the God? I see you, beloved. One more good call. Raise your hand if you are ready. All right. Um, let me see. I wanted to get a new face in here, but raise your hand if you are ready, ladies and gentlemen. Raise your hand if you are ready. Let me get Love I Am in here. We ain't had no sisters in here for a minute. Let's get Love I Am. What's up, beloved?
Wow, you picked me.
Yes,
Great. How are you, Tariq?
I'm good, dear. How are you?
Good. So I'm about to throw a somewhat wrench in the operation. I want to use what just that conversation that just transpired as an example to show that every black is not the same black. The
Yeah.
Carth- the Carthaginian was a Semitic bloodline. If you understand history, then you know that Africa was formerly the land of Ham, which means that Africa belonged to the Hamitic bloodline. So, this is an example of a Semitic bloodline coexisting with the Hamitic bloodline, two separate dark races of people. The reason why I point this out is because your modern day Negro is a Semitic bloodline. We are not Hamitic. And so it's erroneous to refer to all of these dark races as African because the term African is only going to denote certain and particular bloodlines. The Negro is not accounted for there. So I'm glad that that just happened. And that's important to know because we see the consistency in the building concerning a Semitic people. So you have the Carthaginians that had that ancient advanced technology, and you have the American Negro today that is responsible for the building of America.
Mm-hmm.
So that's called continuity, okay? And so that's a differentiation that needs to be fundamentally understood, especially when these white supreme I don't even use that term because there's zero physiological benefits to having pale skin. And someone was trying to enlighten that brother that you could not be in the sun all day without literally spontaneously combusting with the amount of UV radiation that hits those regions. With that being said, this is important, what I'm saying, because this is the same logic applied when the Anglo goes to differentiate himself from the Jew. If you can conceptualize that you have two human populations that are not the same people, then they should not be calling us Africans all day. Cognitive dissonance. Thank you for allowing me to speak, though. I'm glad that I was able to get on. Thanks, Tariq.
Thank you, beloved. Bye-bye. Yeah. All right, there it is. All right, we're going to wrap it up, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, man, go to hiddenhistorymuseum.com. Give a contribution to the Hidden History Museum. Everybody who's here, give a contribution to the Hidden History Museum. Thank everybody for the super chats and everything like that. And it's been real. Go to rootworkstyle.com to get the Rootwork deodorant. And I'm up out of here. Puppy Akute, love, move to the family. Peace.
Good way, good way. Yeah, 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 yeah. Good way, good way. Ooh, yeah, 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 yeah. Good way, good way.